Welcome to Launchpad 24, a creative journey designed to inspire and empower you. We are so excited to have you here with us tonight as we dive into a world of insights, creativity, and fun. I'm Manisha Vijayaratne and I will be your host for today. Today's session is proudly brought to you by WIE at SLIIT. We are thrilled to have you here with us tonight. Over the next 2 days, we have two incredible sessions designed to inspire and empower you on your content creation journey. Today, we will dive into the theme Ignite the Storyteller and Creator within you, where we focus on uncovering creativity and building a strong foundation for storytelling and content creation. To kick things off, we are honored to have a special guest with us tonight, someone with a wealth of experience and knowledge. I think we all know who is our guest speaker for today's session. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Malinda Alahakoon, a celebrated science communicator and YouTuber who has mastered the art of blended storytelling with science. Through his engaging and educational content on his YouTube channel, TechTrack, he has inspired countless individuals to see STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, in an entirely new light. Mr. Malinda, we are truly privileged to have you here with us today to guide us in igniting the storyteller and creator within each of us. Now, the stage is yours.
Right. Thank you, Manisha. Thanks for inviting me for this session. And I hope you want me to conduct this session in English. Is that right?
Yeah, it's done.
Right. Okay, then I'll continue in English. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk to this kind of enthusiastic, futuristic people. What I'm going to do here is today, people, I'm going to give you a little brief overview of content creation market and how to enter and how to thrive here and how to treat this job and lots of details and more specifically to understand what kind of topic that you should talk about if you're going online and how to build your personal brand. Let me share my slide deck. Right, here we go. Right, okie dokie. I think you can see my tab. Could someone please confirm me whether the screen sharing is working all right?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Perfect. Okay, then people, what we can talk today here is the content creation journey from basic understanding to the in detail understanding. So in the chat, like if you're already creating content, I'd like to know. So if you're already creating content somewhere in some platform, please let me know in the chat. So the first thing that we have to understand is what does it mean by content creation? So the entire content creation is a process. Couple of decades ago, the entire process was limited to few platforms like newspapers, radio, and television. But at a certain point, with the boom of internet, so all the people, pretty much all the people got this opportunity to create content and upload it to YouTube or whatever the platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have tons of platforms today. So then the things got a little democratized. So it's not about videos, not just videos. I remember when I started blogging back in 2007, 8, that time. So blogging was a huge thing. So then all the video formats came in, then the social media, the image sharing, and different kind of formats came in, and the infographics, they are getting shared a lot. in multiple platforms. So the primary objective of this content creation is to inform. Like, let's say I know about something, I tell my audience about that thing, they educate them, entertainment, and sometimes we couple education with entertainment. We call that the edutainment, and to eventually to inspire your audience to do something that they wouldn't do usually. Like, let's say you are a travel blogger, you inspire people to travel. Then I am a science communicator. I inspire people to pursue science, think in a scientific way. So that's my objective. So that is the general understanding of content creation. So this is, guys, it is basically a process. So during this process, you identify topics, then you create content, then you make them accessible to your audience. So that's the general idea of content creation. And this content creation market is getting traction. So I remember back in 2015, 16, that time they were getting traction slowly. Now that it's going exponentially. So back in 2014, if my memory is correct, the YouTube platform was pretty much limited to cat videos and funny videos and homemade videos and that kind of stuff. So they started this initiative to create lots of educational content on YouTube called YouTube Initiative Program, as I remember. So then they invested millions of dollars to create brand new content for YouTube. So if you are watching channels like SciShow, Crash Course, so those are like those channels funded by YouTube. Then people, as I said before, if you go back to the era of newspapers, radio stations, and television, still you can create content. Yes, like, let's say theaters are also included. You can still create content. But the only problem is you have to go through lots of red tapes. Like, let's say you are really good at writing and you want to publish an article on a newspaper, then what you have to do? So you have to join a newspaper and you have to climb up the corporate ladder. But now, if you want to publish something, you can simply set up a blog. Or if you don't want to go through the hassle of setting up a blog, you can simply go to YouTube and write a post. Then lots of people will see it. So it's actually democratizing this content market, and we are lowering the entry barrier. So pretty much anyone can enter the content market and publish their content. So this is what we call the trend of the user generated trend, user generated content. So back in the days, all the content we consumed were developed by some kind of corporation, maybe a government related entity or maybe a private corporation. But now it's not the case anymore. I'm pretty sure that all of you guys are scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. All of those content are created by users, but those users are not really users anymore. They are also running their own content creation business. So for that, they are developing some kind of influence to the audience. Like, let's say you like a certain YouTuber, you like a certain Instagrammer. If that Instagrammer is asking you to do something, maybe a little thing, you are willing to do it. So that's what we call the influence. Then they are developing a personal brand. The personal brand is nothing magic, guys. It's basically showing who you are to the audience. So all of you guys are individuals. All of you guys are unique. So if you show yourself to the audience, and at a certain point, you will become a personal brand. So this content creation market was growing slowly, as I said before. It was a couple of $1 million of market. Now it's like more than $20 billion market. And this calculation is different in multiple sources. So lots of people expect the content market to be a $1 trillion market by 2030. So it's going really fast because this market is growing really fast. So you don't really have to be like, let's say, some content creation secret. You don't really have to keep it to yourself because the entire cake, the entire pie is getting bigger. So you can get a bigger slice, and that does not compromise someone else's slice. So we call that a non-zero sum market. It's not a zero sum market, but Think about the newspaper, it's a shrinking market. Think about the TV, it's a shrinking market. In a shrinking market, if you know some secret, you have to keep it yourself, otherwise you'll lose your slice of the pie. But it's not the case with social media. So the entire pie, the entire cake is getting bigger. So you can get a bigger slice, and everyone else also can get a bigger slice. So this is an emerging market. So that's the biggest advantage. And all the influencers, all the content creators, building personal brands, are building certain influence towards a certain group of people, and then they can make money out of it by brand partnership, or maybe the monetization provided by the platform itself. And there are full-time content creators too. So because this is a job, this is a complete industry. So now that all the people who are engaged in this kind of market can treat this as your job. So that's actually pretty cool. Back into 1980s, 1990s, if you go to a kindergarten in USA, primary school in USA, if you ask what's your dream job, that dream job was always astronaut. So back in 1980s, 1990s, all the kids want to be astronauts when they grow up. Not all the kids, the majority of the kids. So then the doctor was there, the engineer was there. But after 2015, if you go to kindergarten or primary school in USA, you ask what's your dream job? That's content creator, Instagram, YouTuber, TikTok, like that kind of content creator, because this is a dream job. And but there are several problems too, because anyone can simply join this market, because the entry barrier is so low. So anyone with a smartphone and some kind of content idea can create content and upload to all the platforms. So the entry barrier is low, so it's pretty difficult to stand out. To stand out, you have to leverage certain things. I'll tell you all of those stuff like later in the slide deck. So that's why lots of people are doing this as full-time job. So then if you really want to thrive in this content creation market, you have to pay attention to personal branding. So personal branding, what does it mean by personal branding? You are already a brand, but no one has seen you yet. So what you're going to do is you're showing yourself to lots of people. You're putting yourself out there, your lifestyle and your ideologies, your ideas, your knowledge, putting yourself out there and creating a brand around you. So once you do that, like let's say, I know lots of things about nanotechnology, let's say. So then I go to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the platform. So I talk about nanotechnology. So at a certain point, I'll be a source of information for nanotechnology. So there I'm showing my expertise, and with the accuracy of those information, I'm building a certain credibility. So then there are not a lot of people who are talking about nanotechnology, so I can stand out from the market, differentiate myself from the competitors, all the other people who are talking about nanotechnology. So through this, I can build brand partnership, and most of the platforms provide the monetization features on the platform itself, so I can leverage those. So that's how this process usually works. To get the maximum out of it, guys, you have to build a certain community. So when you're building a community, you are connecting with lots of humans out there, and they're actually expecting something out of you. Maybe entertainment, maybe knowledge, education, whatever it is. So they're engaged with you. They know you. You most of the time you don't know them, but we have lots of DMs and all the messages going on here and there. So if you are a really loyal fan of someone, they probably know you. And then when you are building a personal brand, when you are creating content, so this consistency matters a lot, right? So this consistency matters a lot, means like this is a job. Like let's say you are running a coffee shop. So can you open your coffee shop whenever you feel like? So let's say tomorrow I have to open my coffee shop 7 a.m. in the morning. So I don't feel like doing it. Can I close it? So it's not possible, right? Like let's say you are doing a job, and next Monday you don't really feel like going to the job. You have to inform the human resources department, and there's a certain process, right? So same way, like this is a self-employment, but still you have to show up consistently to get the maximum out of this industry. So then you are creating content. There's an audience which is slowly growing, and they know you and they expect something out of you. They appreciate you. There's a certain connection between those human network. At a certain point, you can actually deliver an exclusive experience to your followers. One classic example would be the one thing that I do all the time is I upload content for free to YouTube. Then through that, there's a huge community around me, and I invite them to share something exclusive with the exclusive fan base. So what I have done is there's a platform called Patreon. So in the Patreon platform, there's a subscription. If you purchase the subscription, I create exclusive content for those people. So you can do that kind of stuff too as a monetization channels. So what I have done is in the Patreon platform, I have different membership tiers. So whenever you purchase something, a certain membership tier, there is a weekly podcast. And if you upgrade your membership, then you have the weekly podcast plus a monthly workshop. And then you further upgrade your membership, then you have the weekly podcast, a monthly workshop. Plus, I have a training program on creating high quality education content. So that program is talking about the entire workflow of content creation from research to production. So you can do that kind of stuff too, exclusive content for your loyal audience. So you can slowly expand your operation. The most important thing is, guys, so when you're creating content, you have to understand what you're going to talk about. So that when you're going to talk about something, there are some bitter truths that you have to understand. So most of the people are living in this illusion that this world is just unfair. But reality, people, this world is unfair. Accept it, right? Okay, let's say you are creating a certain plan, you're devising a certain plan, thinking that this world is fair. At a certain point, you will be disappointed, right? So instead, what you really should do is accept the fact that this world is unfair. Different people get different treatment. They are never equal. Different people get different perks and benefits. It's never the same. So we have run, actually lots of scientists have run a different mathematical simulation to check whether we can make this world just unfair. It's never possible. Most of the time, when it comes to money, the lower 50%, that cumulative sum is equal to the top 1%. That happens all the time. So this world is unfair. Accept it. If this world is unfair, you also must have some kind of unfair advantage that other people can't easily replicate. To do this thing, so I read this book called Unfair Advantage. From that book, I got this framework called Miles Framework. So different people got different unfair advantage. Some people are born in wealthy families, so then you have shitload of money. So if that be the case, you can invest that money and get your work done. And some people don't really have much money, but they have intelligence. So they have a higher IQ level. So leveraging that IQ level, which other people don't have, so they can do things that other people can't do. Then there are some location and luck advantage. Location advantage, like let's say I'm living in Colombo. I'm actually living it in Gampaha. Let's assume that I'm living in Colombo. So I need to raise $1 million for an IT startup. That's going to be pretty difficult if I'm in Colombo. But if you want to raise $1 million, not $1 million, $10 million for an IT startup, and you are living in somewhere in California, say somewhere in Silicon Valley, it's going to be super easy compared to when you're living in Colombo. And that's how things are, right? So there are certain things that people who are living in Silicon Valley can do, and I can't do because I'm living in Colombo, regardless of your intelligence or education or expertise. Then the other thing is you have education and expertise. So you are studying engineering. Now a lot of people are studying engineering, so you have this expertise and education unfair advantage. So this advantage is always unfair. You have to identify it, and then you have to leverage it. And end of the day, like we have status, you have a certain social status. Let's assume that you are the MBS, the Mohammed bin Salman, Prince of Saudi Arabia. There are certain things that Mohammed bin Salman can do, none of us can do. So that's unfair, but that's how things are. So you have to identify your unfair advantage. That would be the step number one. So if you want to dig deep into this topic, I strongly recommend you to read this book, Unfair Advantage. If you read it, you'll get tons more detail. And guys, so if I take a look at myself, so what kind of unfair advantages I have? So when it comes to money, my parents are government servants, so money advantage is pretty neutral for me. It doesn't mean that I'm poor. It doesn't mean that I'm rich. And it's neutral. They are government servants when I was a kid. So the money advantage is neutral. Not an advantage, not a disadvantage. And when it comes to intelligence, I never got a chance to get a proper IQ test, but once I got an IQ test, which is an online IQ test, doesn't qualify as a proper IQ test. So according to that, I'm in the 95th percentile, the top 5%. So I have this IQ level advantage to a certain point. So I can decipher complex ideas. I can connect dots. So that advantage is there. And the location advantage, it's kind of complicated. I'm living in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, usually it's a disadvantage because in Sri Lanka, it's pretty difficult to run a business. When it comes to the ease of doing business index, we are in the 99th position or something. Economic freedom, we are in 155th place or something. Like, it's pretty bad. If you are starting something in Sri Lanka, it's pretty hard. And the governance, the good governance level of Sri Lanka is also pretty bad. We all know that, right? So Sri Lanka is supposed to be a disadvantage, but if you think a little creatively, you can turn that into a sort of the advantage. Like, just assume that you want to hire a video editor and you are in New York. Looks like you are in New York means a location advantage. But to hire a video editor, a good video editor, you have to spend like what? $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month to hire a good video editor. If you are in Sri Lanka, if you want to hire a good video editor, it would be like what? $500, $1,000, $1,000. For $1,000, you can easily hire a really good video editor in Sri Lanka. So that's actually making your operational cost lower, and you can produce the same thing, and you are turning the location disadvantage into an advantage. You can do that kind of stuff, of course. And when it comes to me, I got this opportunity to go to different countries and get different education. So I have this unfair advantage of education and expertise. I got this opportunity to work with world's top organizations and engage in different research related to machine learning. So that most of you guys probably didn't have. And when it comes to status, I think it's neutral. And yes, based on my school and my foreign education, I may have a little edge in the status. So you have to understand your unfair advantage too. Maybe you have some kind of unfair advantage that other people can't replicate or pretty difficult to replicate. Like, let's say you are a pilot. So if you are a pilot, then you can create content that I can't create. And let's say you are a chef, then you can create content that I can never create. And you are an engineer, you are engaged in various different infrastructure development projects. So you can create content about those things which I can never create. So all of us have some kind of unfair advantage. Like, let's say you are playing poker. So you are dealt with a hand. So then different people get different hands. So some people may get lucky, some people may get unlucky, but still you can turn this unluck to a luck with a little bit of intelligence. So that's how this unfair advantage works. But never expect this world to be fair and all the people get equal opportunities. It's not the case. People are always getting different opportunities and it's always unfair. But try to navigate through it. Then when you are creating content, when you are entering the content creation market, one thing that you have to pay attention to is you have to align your passion with the audience interest. Like, let's say you like to do something, but we like to do lots of things, right? I like to play piano, but I can't play piano. But there are certain things, like with these two domains, there are things I like to do, but there's a cross section, there's a subdomain in that I like to do, and I'm pretty good at it. Like, I like to do VFX, and I'm pretty good at it. So now that we are going somewhere, then you have to identify things that you like to do, and you should be good at it. And then you should be able to solve someone else's problem through that skill. Then you can monetize it. This is a framework called Ikigai. It's a Japanese concept. So if you want to dig into it, just search for Ikigai in YouTube or somewhere. Oh, there's a book called Ikigai. You can read it through. So then the other thing is, lots of university students, when I'm talking to university students, they're thinking that, okay, I'm passionate about something. My job should be aligned with my passion. But guys, your passion is a very fluid thing. You are never born with a certain passion. You always build your passion. Like, let's say you want to be an automobile engineer and you are not passionate about it. You are not passionate about it because you are pretty bad at it. You don't know anything about automobile engineering. And if you want to be a good video editor and you are thinking that you are not passionate about it, the true story is you suck at video editing. So that's why you don't like to do it. So if you want to build a passion, so you have to go through this difficult journey of acquiring the skill. Once you acquire the skill, you'll become a little bit good at it. Then you like to do that more. Then let's say at a certain point, I want to teach myself the art of writing, art of script writing. I was pretty suck at it. I was pretty bad at it. Then I learned that a little bit. Then I write more script. Now that I can write scripts more, so I like to write more scripts. So it's a cycle. When you go through this cycle, your passion is getting built up. So you are never born with a certain passion. So you always build a passion. So if there's a dream job, like let's say content creation, you want to build a passion which is aligning with content creation, that's also possible. But if you already have a certain passion that goes with content creation or any other industry, so that alignment is super important. To check this alignment, you should always look into data. Like, let's say I'm saying that I'd like to collect stamps. So I'm dedicating my entire life to collect stamps. So you should always look at the practical viability of this kind of statements. So if you want to dedicate your entire life to collect stamps and build a huge collection of stamps, and what's next? And if you really want to collect stamps, do it, but figure out a way to monetize it too. Otherwise, the practical viability of this whole enterprise will collapse into itself. Like, let's say you like to play computer games and you are dedicating your entire life to play computer games, then how are you going to fund the project? So then you probably have to be a game streamer. Then you can fund the project and play computer games too. So you have to figure out a way to fund this entire enterprise. So for that, you have to look into data, social media analytics, and then you should go to Reddit and listen to other people, what other people are discussing about the community discussion. And if you have a certain goal, if you want to go somewhere, and if you like to be a content creator, then you should look at other content creators and what they are doing. So you have to look at the data, analyze the whole process. So end of the day, you have a certain skill and you like to do that. And by doing that, you can add a certain value to the audience without changing your original passion too much. It's always changing. It's a fluid thing. But let's say at a certain point, I figure out that I can get lots of views by doing dance videos. But guys, I can't dance. I have two left legs. So what should I do? So from tomorrow morning, I go ahead and learn dancing and be a dancer. But more than that, when it comes to the practical viability, I have certain education in computer science and mathematics, mostly computer science. So I can talk about that. I can create content about those things. So you should look at the practical aspect of those things rather than simply following this phantom passion, because passions are always changing and always built through deliberate practice. So for this, guys, I strongly recommend you to read this book. This book is super important for any industry, not just content creation. Like, let's say you are working for a software development company, and you are working so hard, you are meeting your deadlines, and but the human resources manager hates you, right? And you have a huge problem, some kind of problem with human resources manager. So you are not getting a promotion ever, right? This kind of stuff are happening in lots of organization, whether you like it or not. As I said before, this world is unfair. So world is unfair. The human resources manager don't like you. But now what? What am I supposed to do? The solution is there in this book. So, like, just think: the human resources manager hates you, but still, when the human resources manager goes through the appraisal process, you are the best. The second position is far behind you. So, regardless of the fact that the human resources manager hates you, still, uh, the human resources manager has to give you that promotion. So you have to be that good in the next decade, actually, regardless of like whatever the job you're doing. So you have to operate at that level, the top level, and your peak performance. So read this book, and after reading this book, you will probably think differently about your passion. Uh, right. So then, people, in the content creation market, when you're looking at all the content creators you like to watch, you follow, and you engage in, they have a certain personality. So I like Hank Green a lot. I like Derek Muller a lot. Hank Green is doing a channel called SciShow. Now that he's doing his personal channel too, Derek Muller is doing a channel called Veritasium. So they have their personal style, and this style is not an act. That's who they are most of the time. So they're being authentic. So when you try to be authentic, and when you come to your ground zero, 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 that's your true authentic self, and that's pretty easy to maintain. You don't really have to do any extra effort to maintain your personal brand. You are showing your raw self to the audience, and then it's automatically becoming authentic. But your ground zero is again a fluid place to be. So you probably try different experiments, you try different content formats and tonalities. uh, so then your ground zero, that means yourself, is slowly changing. So yeah, and you probably try different stuff with colors and the vibes and lots of different things. So then that will become your second nature, and you're also changing. So that's the best way to build a personal brand. First, identify your relax point, your ground zero, and show that to your audience, and that's who you are, and you are also changing, and the audience is going with you in that journey. So that's the most sustainable way to build a personal brand. So try that if you are trying content creation. Then the other thing is, guys, storytelling, the most powerful thing that the human ever invented. So you have heard of Neanderthals. So you have heard of Neanderthals, right? So Neanderthals, they got a bigger brain, bigger body, better muscles. Uh, so they had a better cold tolerance and lots of advantages. But we are here, right? And the Neanderthals are not here. So we are actually smaller, slightly smaller brain, a weak body. But we are still here. We are here because we can tell stories. So we can tell stories about things that not even exist. We can create stories, and we can turn those stories into religions, and we can rally millions and sometimes billions of people around those stories. So stories, guys, they're super powerful. So you should understand the art of storytelling. So see, like the biggest story that we ever invented is money, right? So money doesn't really have any value. So if you take a look at the 5,000 note, it doesn't it doesn't mean that that piece of paper is 5,000 rupees. The value of that piece of paper is 5,000 it's a story that we build. So when we all believe in that same story, then it works, right? When I give you 5,000 note, you'll give me something worth of 5,000 rupees, right? So when we all believe in that story, it works. So that's the advantage. As we know, we don't know for sure. That's the advantage we had over Neanderthals. Neanderthals, they could gather like 150 people into a single herd, but the Sri Lanka is actually rallying 22 million people because we are Sri Lankans. It's a story, guys. So stories are so powerful. You should understand the power of storytelling and the art of storytelling. So all the stories that you're telling is rallying huge number of people around you, your content platform. And when we are telling a story, we can convey very complex messages in such a simple way. So uh, that's how this whole world, the whole civilization is functioning because it's always attached to a certain emotion. So if you travel back, if you rewind the whole thing about like 5,000 years, then I produce rice, you produce like let's say clay pots. I give you a certain amount of rice to you, then you give me the clay pot. But I give you the rice. I don't really need to get a clay pot now. I want to do that later, or maybe from a different person. So what we did was we built a story. That's currency, money. So back in the days, it was barley. So, but then they started using gold. Now that we are using notes or digits in a database. So we all believe in that story. I'll give you some rice, then you give me a certain things like dollars or rupees, then I can get my clay pot later on, spending that hypothetical thing. So stories are so powerful, guys. We all are here because of stories. So you should learn the art of storytelling. So when you're telling stories, there are different kind of storytelling structures that we should pay attention to, like linear storytelling. So the linear storytelling means we are organizing all the events according to the chronological order. So then non-linear storytelling. If you watch the movie Memento, you should watch Memento. It's non-linear storytelling. Then we have circular storytelling. So circular storytelling is super powerful for some scenarios. Then we have the inverted pyramid style. Most of the time, we are using the inverted pyramid storytelling style for news reporting. So we tell the most abstract idea at the first, then we dig into finer details. So you should look into that kind of storytelling styles to connect with the audience. Then people, lots of people are coming like joining the content creation market because they don't really like to do a job. They want to do their own thing, but there's no such a thing. So I am a YouTuber. I work for YouTube, right? I am an employee for YouTube. I'm doing a job. So I don't really get a salary every month, but still I get a payment every month based on my performance. You are doing a job. You have to treat this as a job. So what we are actually doing, I am a YouTuber. I mean, if you want to work for YouTube, then you should join the YouTube partner program. Then I'm a kind of sort of employee for YouTube. So YouTube's objective is to keep the YouTube users on the platforms as much as possible, right? As long as possible. To do that, they need content. And people should click on those content. And once they click on those content, they should accumulate lots of watch minutes and watch hours. So then people are staying on the YouTube platform so they can display advertisements and make money, right? Then what I'm doing, I have to create content that people will click and watch for a longer period of time. So then YouTube can display more ads on my content, and then I'm getting paid based on my performance. If I manage to do that, I get 55% of the revenue that they're collecting. So, guys, this is a job, right? But this is a dream job. As I said before, back in 1980s, 90s, lots of people, when they ask what's your dream job, especially kids, they said like astronaut, doctor, engineer. But if you ask a kid like who they like to be when they grow up, especially in the West, they'll probably say a content creator. Then people. Uh, so after hearing all of those things, if you are planning to be a content creator, there are certain barriers that you have to break. So the first barrier, I struggle with this barrier too. It's perfectionism. So you are waiting till everything is perfect to launch your new business, new content creation business, but things will never be perfect. So then don't wait till everything is perfect. If I ask you, uh, so you have access to chat, I guess. So if I ask you, what's more important, quantity or the quality? If you have to vote for one aspect, what would you do? So you think that the most important thing is quantity or the quality? If the chat is available, drop, say, quantity or quality. So what do you think? Ashen is saying it's quality, lots of qualities. Savindu, lots of people are saying the quality is important. Um, right. You know what, guys? I disagree. Right. I strongly disagree that the quantity is far more quality is far more important than uh, uh, quantity. We have some quantities too. So yes, you know, but the quality is important, but the quantity is the path to quality. What does that mean? That means, guys, if you want to achieve quality, you have to go through quantity, whether you like it or not. Like, let's say you want to be a really good driver, then you want to achieve a really quality driving, then you have to drive a lot. So you have to put some quantity before the quality. If you want to be a really good video editor, so you have to edit lots of videos before you be a really quality video editor. So quantity should come first, then the quality. So if you want to be a really good content creator, start creating content. Your first content will be crappy anyways. So, but when you create like 100 pieces of content in a certain period of time, like let's say in the next 1 year, you have 52 weeks, and you are creating 2 pieces of content per week, then you can create 104 pieces of content. Like with the, like let's say you miss something, then you can create 100 pieces of content within 1 year. Then you will be a pretty experienced content creator. But the quantity comes first, the quality comes later, and most of the time we don't know what does it mean by the quality. So you have this hypothetical idea, you have okay, this is the quality, but we always have to test the quality in the audience, in the market. They decide whether this thing is quality or not. So, and people always remember, when you're starting content creation, uh, done is always better than perfect. Never let the perfection be the enemy of good enough. Sometimes your good enough, your baseline is okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So push forward. Then your baseline will slowly grow with the quantity. At a certain point, you'll achieve your quality. Once you achieve that quality, then you will probably have a new reference point. It's always a journey. So always put the quantity first. Quality will come later. Okay. Uh, then people, when it comes to goal setting, some of the biggest mistake we are always doing, that you are thinking that, okay, I want to be this person by 2030, after 5 years or something. People, we are living in a rapidly evolving world. We don't know what's gonna be there after 5 years. So, and the biggest problem is we are living in tropical country, so we don't really feel like the year is gone. So if you are living in somewhere in like the western country, you get the winter, right? You get the summer, you autumn, like you get the autumn, you get the winter, specifically winter, which is these days, by the way. So then you get the snow, and you get a reminder that a whole year is gone. We don't really have that kind of reminder, right? But few generations ago, uh, my grandma used to say that, like, okay, they used to count time based on moon months, poor. When they see a poor day, they know that the whole month is gone. But we don't really have that sense too, right? Like, are you checking the moon phases and counting time? No, right? The only way for us to count time properly, like our body feels the day, the sun is rising, the sun sets. So we can use that time frame to set goals. So when I'm setting goals, pretty much all the time, I'm setting goals for the day. And all of those daily goals are contributing to some kind of abstract long term goal. I don't know that goal for sure, but I know I'm going there. Like, let's say I want to build big muscles, then I work out every day, 7 a.m. in the morning. So at a certain point in the future, I'll get big muscles, right? If I work out right, progressive overloading, nutrition right, sleep right, then I embed all of those things into my daily routine. Somewhere in the future, I get bigger muscles. So I'll get my maximum genetic potential. So you can do that. So when you're setting goals, even for the content creation, always set daily goals, right? For anything, always set daily goals. And when you're setting daily goals, the best method that you can use is calendar blocking. We call that the time boxing. So when you're creating to-do lists, never works. So the January 1st is coming. That's the International To-Do List Day, the New Year resolution. I'm becoming a new person in 2025, guys. That's never going to work, right? What you really should do is if you want to do something, don't write that down on a piece of paper or Google Keep or Evernote or anywhere. Put that thing on your calendar. So then you have a meeting with yourself to perform a certain activity. So that's the most effective time management technique. That's what we call the time boxing. So use that time boxing for your content creation journey too. And people, the AI is changing the way we do things really fast, but there are certain things that AI can do. There are certain things that AI can't do. Uh, Most certainly, AI can create content way faster than we do, but end of the day, it's our job to make the value judgment. So, like, let's say I started using AI for my writing, script writing process back in 2021. Back in the days, the OpenAI's GPT 2.0 was there, which was pretty bad. Then they released 3.0, which was pretty good. Then they released their own tool, ChatGPT. Then another company called Anthropic released their model called Claude AI. Now that I'm not really using ChatGPT anymore, I'm using Claude AI. Claude, they have three different models called Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus. The Sonnet is their mid-tier model. Uh, Claude AI's mid-tier model is way better than ChatGPT's flagship model. So, especially when it comes to writing, if you want to write emails, paragraphs, scripts, it's better. It's actually understanding the style that you are trying to write in. And when it comes to doing research, so if I want to do any kind of academic research, back in the days, I had to go through lots of journals. You are IEEE, right? So I use the IEEE library a lot. Back in the days, if I want to find something very specific, it was pretty difficult, guys. So I had to go through lots of journal research papers and lots of journals. It's a painful process and time consuming process. Now that I'm using this tool called Perplexity AI, the Perplexity AI, so I can ask a simple question that, okay, I want to find a material which is lighter than titanium in cryogenic temperatures or lighter than carbon nanotubes in cryogenic temperatures. Find me some research around these things. So the Perplexity AI can go through all the journals and find me the relevant research papers. So it's pretty cool, guys. So you should try using that thing too, the Perplexity AI, to do research. And when it comes to image and video generation, I'm using Midjourney a lot to generate images, and Flux, you can host it in your own computer. And when it comes to image generation, I was testing a tool called Kling, Kling. It's developed by some Chinese company. The Sora is there, but I didn't get a chance to test that one yet. Then Google has this platform called Veo. So apparently better than Sora. So you have to like stay up to date about all of those things. So if you are in a certain industry, the most important thing is you have to stay up to date. So to stay up to date, I use this platform called Feedly. So you can try the same thing too. To Feedly, yes. Feedly has this feature called Power Search. You can try that one. And that would be the end of story, guys. So if I sum up, if you are going to do content creation, you have to treat that as a job, and you have to identify your unfair advantage. First, accept that this world is unfair, right? But still, if the world is unfair, now what I'm going to do, how I'm going to stand out? I don't have shitload of money, and I am living in Sri Lanka. So how am I going to stand out in the international market? So that's your problem, and go ahead and solve it. So first accept the reality. Then you also got some unfair advantages. Leverage them and find your topic. And always never believe that you have a passion that which is not changing. You never get a passion from your birth. You always develop passions. That means you can develop more passions. So if you want to learn Python coding and you don't know anything about Python coding, and for your mission it's important, learn Python coding, then you will be passionate about it. So your passion and your likeness, all of those things are very fluid things, right? But end of the day, what you really should do is there are certain domain of things that you like to do, and there's a subdomain of that things that you like to do plus you are really good at. That means you put some deliberate practice into those things. Using that domain, you can add value to someone else's life. If that person agrees to the fact that you add some value to that person's life, then you get paid. So it's a simple equation. So YouTube want us to create engaging content. So we create engaging content, then lots of people will watch those videos, click on those thumbnails and watch those videos for a longer period of time. Then the YouTube will display tons of ads and they make tons of money. And the YouTube is a pretty nice platform, guys. They give us 55% of that revenue, which is pretty nice. And if you're an educational content creator, same as me, you can offer exclusive content to your audience. I have a Patreon page. So through that Patreon page, I offer exclusive content for subscribe, the paid members. So there you go, guys. So there's the entire story of this whole thing. And if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I think I have a little more time, maybe 10-15 minutes to answer your questions too. And the organizing committee, if you have already collected any questions, please put them forward. And can I get the AI list that you told? Hirosha. Okay, here we go. Cloud AI, that's for writing. Perplexity AI, that's for research. And Kling for video, Rio for video. Sora is also for video. Here we go, Hirosha. The list is there in the chat. Vio, I'm just checking whether I spelled that right. VEO, Google. Yes, VEO, that's right. And yes, if you guys have any questions, please drop them here, like Hirosha, in the chat. Oh, I'm not really sure whether you can talk to me. If you can talk to me, talk to me. And if we don't have any questions, oh, by the way, if you want to ask me any questions, like if you can't ask me here, if you want to get a personal insight or something, you can find me in pretty much all the social media platforms. This is my handle. Use that. Drop me a message, drop me a DM, then yeah, I'll try to reply as fast as possible. You are here, man. Over to you.
Thank you. So don't hesitate to ask questions. This is your chance to gain clarity. So please feel free to drop them to the chat or unmute yourself.
Okay. By the way, can they talk to me if they like? It's not possible,
Sure.
right? Is
No,
it?
yeah, they can talk.
Oh, either way, guys, like if you have any question, drop them in the chat or talk to me. And if you don't have any questions, ma'am, hold on, we have one. Isn't it worth spending more time on making short videos to YouTube? Oh, Viracon. Viracon WMTP. Okay. All right. When it comes to shorts and the long form content, um, it's a little complicated. I wouldn't say it's not worth. I have tried it. I have tried it in multiple different channels. Uh, the thing is, the short videos are pretty unpredictable, and the revenue is usually lower because they are the calculation is different. Like when you have a long form video, there are multiple advertisement or maybe at least a single pre-roll advertisement displayed on the video, and the YouTube is making a certain amount of money from it. Then you get 55% of it. But when it comes to short, there is no advertisement placed inside your video. The advertisement are placed inside the session, so then they are getting shared across all the creators. Uh, but if you figure out a way to get tons of views, that's some money. But this is one thing I have noticed. This is my observation. I don't really know the reason behind this. If you try to upload tons of short videos and long videos in the same channel, not both are working. I don't know why. I'm still finding why it's happening. If you dedicate a channel to all the short videos, the short videos are performing, and you try to transfer that traffic from short videos to long videos, it's not really working the way it's supposed to work. Then you have a huge audience who are watching long form videos, and you try to push them some short videos, then the short videos are not working the way they're supposed to work. So I have seen lots of creators, they are creating a separate channel for short, separate channel for long form videos. But when it comes to monetization, we reckon the best way, like if you really want to build a business around this, the long form videos are the best way to go. And if you are creating content longer, and if you can maintain the engagement, of course, longer than 8 minutes, the YouTube is allowing you to place multiple advertisement in multiple points in your video. Then if you're making long form videos, you can make so much money. And that's why the podcasts are getting so much popular, because usually podcast episode is like 1 hour, so they can place so much advertisement in that kind of episode. So if you really want to build a content creation business, we record, my recommendation is focus on long form videos. And yeah, what do you think about the monetization of text-based content? I have never tried it, Jayakodi. In X, yes, they are paying you some money for your tweets, X's or whatever that is. Uh, I have never tried it, but I actually used to write blogs back in, like way back, more than 10 years ago. It was a good business. Even today, it's a good business, but you have to be really sharp because the market is super crowded. What are the steps to get sponsorship for videos? Yasiru, I actually didn't follow any strategy to get sponsorship for videos, and I have never published my phone number, or if you want to work like sponsored content, if they want to place sponsored content on any of my content, any of my platform, this is the phone number, give me a call. I have never done it, and I never did. I usually don't do sponsored content on my personal profile, only on my commercial profiles like TechTrack. So whenever I get a call, that goes through. So I wait till they contact me. I never pitch any marketing agency or any business. Whenever they want to get a place a sponsored content in my channel, they call me. That goes through two different barriers. One, it should be a legal product. That's step number one. It should be a legal product, not just here in the entire planet, because there are some legal products here in Sri Lanka, but not legal in other countries. Then I usually reject them. And there are some legal products in other countries, but kind of illegal in Sri Lanka, like cryptocurrency, like let's say cryptocurrency platform. It's a legal business all over the planet. But in Sri Lanka, you can't spend rupees to buy cryptocurrency. Then you have to go through not very legal channels to purchase cryptocurrency. So I usually don't accept that kind of stuff. So step number one, the legality. Two, I should be able to enjoy that project, and my audience should be able to enjoy watching that content. So if that be the case, I accept it, but I never pitch. I accept whatever the request I'm getting. So I don't really have a strategy for that. So I recommend you to do the same, yes, So build a good platform, then the people who want to sponsor you will notice you, and then they'll contact you. Then you have the upper hand. Otherwise, like you have to do everything that the sponsor is asking you to do if you pitch the project. So if I pitch the project, then they have the upper hand. So I always let them contact me. Uh, with the evolution of AI, what will be the future of content creation? Will it be a threat to, or will it serve? Oh, right. Naveen is asking, I think AI is good. I started using AI back in 2020, 21, that time. So I used this tool called Jarvis. Jarvis, it's a writing tool. The Jarvis renamed to Jasper, I think. I think it's Jasper. Yes, now it's Jasper. Uh, Before that, it was Jarvis. Then I used this tool called Writer Sonic. Then various different tools for script writing. I think it's good because end of the day, those AI tools can't create really good content by if you simply click on a button. If you ask ChatGPT to write a script about OLED displays, you will get something that looks pretty good, but the knowledge is duplicated. So you have to inject some knowledge into it, your own personal experience into it, opinions into it, but you can speed up the process drastically using AI tools. So use AI tools, but the my litmus test is if you don't have the AI tool, can you still do the job? If the answer is yes, then you're okay to go ahead. So it'll take longer, of course. So for me to write a script for a video without AI tools, it'll take weeks, maybe months. But with AI tools, I can do that within days. But still, even without AI tools, I can do it, but it'll take months. Then you're good to go. What do you think about the cash cow content? Uh, right, the cat. I have heard this term. Lots of people are putting forward some quick viral content to make lots of money in the short period of time. The thing is, okay, this is my personal opinion. If that's your objective, go ahead and do it. But my personal opinion is if I'm doing a job, I should figure out a way to make money plus enjoy the job too. So if I'm making so much money and if I don't enjoy the job, at a certain point, I'll lead to a burnout. So if you're doing something just to make money, that's not my cup of tea. I want to do something creative, valuable, and true to my heart, and then make money. That's a good business model for me. Uh, I think that's the definition of cash cow content. So if that be the case, it's not my cup of tea, but it works. But the biggest problem is when something goes wrong with this kind of cash cow content, you never know how to fix it. You don't know where and what went wrong. Uh, so I more than that, I strongly recommend you to use a more systematic approach to create content, a data-driven approach to create content that you enjoy, and at the same time you can make so much money. And by the way, like if you are interested in doing what I just said, I have a training program. It's there in my Patreon program, Patreon page. Just join if you like. Do we have more questions? I think we are done.
Yeah, thank you so much for the answers, Mr. Malinda. And there's one more question from one of our delegates. So let me read that to you. I'm currently sharing my content on social media as a graphic designer. I want to expand into videos, but my English speaking skills are not very strong. I want to create videos in English, but I find speaking to be a challenge. So, what should I do first? Should I make videos in Sinhala with English subtitles, which I don't like, or would using a script be more effective for me? What should I prioritize?
Right. So the first option, you are creating content in Sinhala with English subtitle doesn't work. That's no way to go. And if you are not very good with English, and you are a graphic designer, one thing that you can do is you can create graphic designing tutorial with AI generated voices, by the way. And I can now that the AI generated voices are so good, sometimes, like not sometimes, pretty much all the time, if you do it right, you can't differentiate. And if I'll show you 10 samples of voiceovers that I generated, some of them are actually done by real voiceover artists, some of them are done by AI generated voice, uh, AI generated platforms. I'm pretty sure that you won't be able to differentiate, okay, this is AI and this is real for sure, because they're so good. And if you want to create graphic designing tutorials in English, write a good script that you can do with the assistance of multiple tools like Grammarly, ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever. Then use a really good AI voice generate. I use 11 Labs. I actually clone my voice too. So I record voiceovers a lot. So at a certain point, I was thinking that, okay, now that I have the script, then I had to go to the microphone and record the voiceover. But if 11 Lab is so good, I can simply type the script and generate the voice, which is my own voice, which is efficient. So I tried that one too. So I think that's the way for you to go.
Sure. Seems like our participants don't have any further questions at this time. So thank you so much for the answers, Mr. Malinda. So before we move forward, we would like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Malinda Alahakoon, for sharing his valuable knowledge with us today. To show our appreciation, we are honored to present this token of gratitude to you for your remarkable efforts and dedication. Thank you for inspiring us and for making this session truly special. For more insights and content, be sure to check his YouTube channel, TechTrack, where he shares valuable tips and knowledge.